Attention begs, status decides. Picture this. It's Monday, 9:03 a.m. The room is fluorescent and sleepy, laptops already forming little walls of distraction. People scan for the person they should pay attention to. No one announced it, but the economy of respect is open for trading. You have 12 seconds to show the room which clock it should run on, yours or chaos. You don't need to be loud. You do need architecture. Charisma isn't a costume. It's an engineered set of signals that make people lean in without you pleading for it. Today we build your blueprint. 5 signals that quietly recalibrate how others read you in meetings, one-on-ones, negotiations, even at a friend's dinner table. The promise is simple. After this video, you'll carry yourself like someone whose ideas get a fair hearing, whose boundaries carry cost, and whose presence eases the room because there's a competent pilot at the controls. If that's the version of you want to practice in public, hit like so this kind of content reaches more people who need it, and comment "frame" if you'll claim the frame in your next conversation. Now breathe, shoulders down, chin level. Let's step into the doorway together. Here's the question you'll keep in your pocket all week. What is the frame right now, and is it mine? Frames are the rules of interpretation. They decide whether your statement is seen as a proposal to be debated or a direction to be executed, whether your pause is read as hesitation or gravity, whether your smile is friendliness or approval. People don't obey you, they obey the frame. The good news is that frames are built out of small, repeatable signals you can control. The 5 will engineer are claim the frame, clock control, edges, alliance ledger, and whisper authority with artifacts. Signal 5 changes how you walk into rooms for the rest of your career. Let's start with the invisible game you're already playing. Think of social interactions as a market that clears on 3 variables: frame, time, and trust. Frame is who gets to define what matters. Time is who controls the rhythm and the deadlines. Trust is the credit limit you carry, how much the room will accept from you without proof. Charisma is the art of stacking these 3 in your favor without noise. You can be brilliant and still discounted if you surrender the frame. You can be kind and still ignored if your time is cheap. You can be right and still resisted if trust is low. The trick is to build a presence that says, I define the problem cleanly, I move us at a humane but decisive pace, and I keep promises. Nietzsche would call it the will to shape, imposing order on chaos beginning with yourself. The Stoics would add, spend energy only where you have leverage. Don't chase what you cannot steer. Jung reminds us that your shadow, your capacity to say no and accept conflict, is part of your charisma. Bourdieu would talk about symbolic capital, the small signals that accrue into perceived authority. We'll keep it simple. 5 signals, engineered, practiced, measured. Cold open protocol to reset your presence in 12 seconds, then we build out the house. You enter. Feet planted shoulder width, weight balanced, no nervous swaying, bag down quietly, never hug it to your torso like a shield. Take the seat that faces the widest slice of the room so eyes can find you without a head swivel. Exhale, then buy the room's silence with a clean pause. When 3 pairs of eyes are on you, deliver a micro contract. Here's how we'll win this in 30 minutes. Decision on X, options A, B. I'll walk us through trade-offs, and we'll leave with owners and dates. That sentence does 4 things at once. It claims the frame, we're here to win, not wander. It asserts a clock, 30 minutes is our runway. It signals edges, trade-offs are the price of movement. And it offers alliance. We leave with owners and dates. Shared victory, not personal spotlight. Write it down. Use it this week. Attention is purchased by restraint. Imagine you are approaching a cliff edge. Sensible people slow down. Your silence is that cliff. When you pause after a key sentence, we can hit the date, but not with all 3 features. You create a drop in the floor. People lean forward to avoid falling. That lean is attention. If you fill the silence, you place a safety net, and they relax back into their phones. The first discipline of charisma is the discipline of not rescuing people from your silence. If holding a pause feels like you're dying, good. That means you're training the muscle that separates performers from pilots. For the next 48 hours, run a quick test. Count how many times you start with context instead of conclusion. Context first is the default of people who are afraid of being wrong. Conclusion first is the default of people who are responsible for outcomes. When you open with your conclusion, green light option B, with a 10% budget increase. Here's why. You force the room to organize around a clear object. Then you justify. This is not arrogance, it is leadership hygiene. The room can disagree. But now they're disagreeing with a thing, not with your worth. Charisma thrives when identity leaves the battlefield and objects take the hits. 2 tiny scripts that make you sound inevitable without sounding aggressive. First, the lane laydown. I'll own the path and timing. I need you on risk and dependencies. If anything threatens the date, escalate to me first. It's warm, it distributes status, and it centralizes accountability. Calm authority. Second, the permission to proceed that buys attention without begging. Good to proceed, said slowly, at low volume with a steady gaze. It's not seeking approval, it's inviting alignment. If someone objects, you just found a mine before stepping on it. If no one objects, you've earned momentum you can spend. Body protocol you can rehearse tonight in front of a mirror. Neutral face baseline. Jaw unclenched, tongue on the palate. Gaze on the triangle between a person's eyes and mouth. Chin neither tucked nor lifted. Shoulders weighted as if a coat were draped over them. Hands visible on the table with wrists soft. Every few sentences, allow your head to be still for 1 whole second. Still heads red is certainty. Darting heads red is checking for permission. If you need to move, move slow. Speed communicates hunger. Stillness communicates supply. You're not starving for attention. You carry optionality. 3 micrometrics for this opening phase. 1. Silence ratio. Every minute you speak, did you offer at least 5 seconds of clean quiet after an important sentence? 2. Interruption delta. Count how many times people interrupt you on Monday versus Friday. Expect a drop if you hold your pauses and open with conclusions. 3. Frame reclamation count. How many times you reset a wandering discussion with, let's anchor back on the decision, A or B by Friday. Post your numbers publicly in the comments. Public tracking increases compliance. If you're serious, type frame and tell me your silence ratio target. Now we build signal 1. Claim the frame. The room wants leadership to reduce uncertainty. You give it to them by defining the game and the win condition. Open with a decision object, time box it, name the trade-offs, and create owners. The formula is simple. Decision plus window plus trade-off plus ownership. Decision, API or native. Window, decide today. Trade-off, speed versus polish. Ownership, I'll drive build. Dana owns QA. Objections? That last word is crucial. You invite friction on your terms. Machiavelli warned that it's better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. In modern teams, it's better to be respected than liked. And the fastest route to respect is to take responsibility for shaping decisions while staying open to hard facts. People don't resent clarity. They resent ambiguity that wastes their time. Common mistakes when claiming the frame include apology stacking, sorry, quick thought, question mark intonation at the end of declarative sentences, and a weak first sentence that warms you up instead of warming the room. Replace those with 3 moves. 1. The square start. I'll go first. It's clean. It signals a leader stepping into the ring. 2. The declarative finish. End your conclusion on a period and then pause. We cut feature C. Full stop. 3. The forked question. Offer a closed choice framed by your logic. Approve A for speed or B for polish. The room feels agency. You keep architecture. Field applications for signal 1. In a status meeting, outcome for today. Unblock the integration with a yes/no on the third-party vendor. We've got 20 minutes. Short arguments, no repeats. I'll call the vote at minute 18. In a one-on-one, 2 goals for us today. Align on your growth path this quarter and clear any blockers on Project Atlas. I'll bring a draft ladder. You bring the truth. In a negotiation, we can sign this week if we lock price and scope today. Legal language can finalize next week. If that doesn't work, we pause and revisit next month. You're not trying to control people. You're giving the interaction a spine. Signal 2, clock control. Charisma has a tempo. Some people spray words like a leaky hose. Others drip them like medicine. You'll aim for beats. A sentence that lands. A breath that lets it sink. A summary that locks it. Pauses buy you authority because you're spending the most valuable resource in the room, time, as if you own it. Use 3 time moves. First, the metronome voice. Speak in phrases you could write on a whiteboard. Problem, delays at handoff. Cause, unclear owner. Fix, Single-threaded leader by Friday. Each phrase is a beat. Second, the scarcity window. Offer 2 precise slots instead of an open calendar. I have 10 minutes now, or 20 tomorrow at 3:10. Which works? That tiny specificity reads as someone whose time has shape. Third, the time audit. Mid-meeting, name where you are. Minute 12 of 30, decision at 18. We're on track. It's amazing how rooms obey clocks once someone actually hangs one on the wall. Zoom and remote call clock control matters even more because you're fighting latency, distractions, and the black hole of "you're on mute." Run a 3-beat structure. Start with a crisp route. In 8 minutes, quick problem, 2 options, my recommendation, then questions. Keep your camera at eye level and your face 60-70% of the frame, chin neutral. When you finish a point, literally look down at your notes for a beat and back up. That break acts like an in-person pause. If someone rambles, use the sandglass cut. I'm going to pause you there so we don't run out of time. Capturing your core point as X. Do I have it? They'll agree because you named the essence. Then you redirect. There's also the speed of saying no. Slow no is cruel. Fast no is kindness. If a junior asks for a meeting you can't take, don't ghost. I'm heads down on 2 deadlines. I can't meet this week. Quick tip. Ship me a 1-page with aim, options, and your recommendation. I'll mark it up tonight. You guard your clock while gifting a structure that develops them. That's quiet status. Your time is scarce and your help is precise. Measure clock control with 3 metrics. 1. Mean pause length. After each key sentence, aim for a 2-second pause. Increase to 3 on consequential decisions. 2. Agenda adherence. Did the meeting end with decisions and owners inside the time box? 3. Scarcity windows used. How many scheduling attempts did you convert to 2 slots moves? Comment clock with the longest pause you held without apologizing this week. Signal 3. Edges. Boundaries with visible cost. Nice without edges is noise. Warm plus edges is leadership. Jung's shadow idea matters here. Power disowned leaks as passive aggression or anxious compliance. We integrate it so your no is clean. Use a 3-step refusal ladder. Step 1. Redirect with trade-offs. I want to help. To do that, here's what we drop. Step 2. Conditional yes. I can do it if we move the deadline to Wednesday or remove the custom report. Step 3. Principled no. I'm not the right person for this. The right owner is X. I'll make the intro. You do not explain your entire schedule. You offer a path and a price. Edges also apply to scope. Most conflict comes from blurry edges around what done means. Install a scope lock. Definition of done is a passing test suite, a 1-page README, and a demo video under 3 minutes. Anything beyond that is a new decision. You're not being difficult, you're preventing pain. In negotiation, price is an edge. If you must discount, never do it naked. If we reduce price by 8%, we remove the quarterly on-site. Which way do you prefer? Cost visible, respect preserved. Scripts for edges you can use tomorrow. When someone interrupts you mid-sentence, pause, turn palm down, and say, hold. I'll finish the thought, then you. Then finish the sentence and gesture to them. Use the same phrasing every time. Repetition builds a cultural norm. When someone brings urgency that isn't real, I hear the urgency, I don't see the deadline. What's the latest safe date for this? If they can't answer, you just diagnosed a status play. When a colleague asks you to add a feature late, if we add this, what do we remove? It's a 1-in 1-out week. That line alone will save you dozens of hours each quarter. Edges need warmth. Without warmth, edges are brittle. So pair your boundary with a care statement and a future gift. I care about your growth. I'm saying no to this task because it would set you up to firefight instead of build. Next week, I'll walk you through how I scope so you can lead the next one. That's not manipulation. That's stewardship. People follow leaders whose no protects the mission and the person. Measure edges with 3 signals. 1. Interruptions recovered. How many times did you reclaim your sentence cleanly? 2. Scope deviations prevented. Track tasks that would have expanded and didn't because you made trade-offs explicit. 3. Recovery time. How quickly did a relationship normalize after you set a boundary? Healthy edges reduce drama, not amplify it. Comment edge with the line you'll use this week. Signal 4. Alliance ledger. Charisma misread as pure shine misses the compounding value of loyalty. People listen to those who have consistently made the room better. Build a ledger with status gifts that don't look like flattery. 3 moves. First, name and frame. Use people's names early and frame their contribution in terms of the mission. Cut decision time in half by putting options side by side. You're not complimenting a personality. You're praising a behavior that the culture should copy. Second, introduce people well. When you bring someone into a meeting, say, "This is Jordan, the person who made X happen under a crazy timeline. Today they'll run the decision matrix." Your intro gifts Jordan borrowing status and primes the room to listen. Third, share air and credit. In a win recap, say, 3 people made this happen. A found the path, B cleared blockers, C closed the loop with the client. Trust glues to you because you're safe to succeed near. Alliance is not people-pleasing. You keep score, but not like a miser. You keep score like a builder, who shows up, who returns favors, who quietly sabotages, who gives you honest signal when you're off. Bourdieu would say you're accruing social capital that can be converted into other forms later. Support when pushing a risky idea, patience when you slip, permission to set a hard edge. You don't need everyone. You need enough honest allies across functions to give you optionality. Build bridges with engineers, ops, legal, finance, design, and the executive assistant who actually runs the place. Your future bottlenecks hide in those interfaces. Ledger scripts. After someone helps you privately, log it. Ledger. Dana covered my absence with the client. Repay by demo coaching before Thursday. Then pay it. After you help someone, don't bill them socially. Say, "I'm glad we shipped. Credit's yours in the recap." That single sentence increases the chance they'll lobby for your ideas later. When you need help, respect optionality. I'm asking for 20 minutes, not your whole afternoon. If you're stretched, feel free to decline. People say yes more to those who give them clean exits. Measure the ledger in small ways. Count status gifts each week. Track unique names you publicly elevated. Track how many of your intros resulted in someone being listened to faster. Track repayment latency. How quickly do favors return? If it's slow, adjust your targets or your gifts. Comment with one person you'll publicly credit this week and why. Signal 5. Whisper authority and artifacts. Loud voices often reveal soft arguments. Whisper authority is the calm density of compressed language, low volume, and stillness, backed by artifacts that anchor the room's attention outside your personality. You become the person who says less, but carries receipts. Use 4 moves. 1. Compress. Replace long caveats with clean statements. The risk is timeline slippage from dependency, X, period. 2. Lower volume by 10–15%. People lean in. 3. Drop your shoulders and slow your head movements. The body says, "I'm not in a chase." 4. Bring artifacts. A 1-page brief with problem, options, trade-offs, and a recommendation. A decision matrix with weighted criteria. A checklist that reduces fear by showing the path. A simple timeline with constraints. Artifacts shift the room from opinions to objects. They depersonalize disagreement. We can attack the matrix without attacking you. Artifacts matter because humans need to touch something. In negotiation, bring a printed term sheet with 2 highlighted packages, speed and certainty. Slide it across the table and go silent. In a tense update, draw the plan on a whiteboard with 3 boxes labeled now, next, after. People calm down when they can point. In a hiring panel, bring a scorecard with the top 5 competencies. When someone says, "I just liked her vibe," you ask, which competency did the vibe map to? Whisper authority plus artifacts is how you look inevitable without shouting. Practice compressed phrases you'll deploy. Here's the move. 2 options. I favor B. Price change implies scope change. This feels urgent, not important. Prove me wrong. I'm open to data. I'm closed to drift. Say them at low volume with a full stop and a breath. The weight is in the quiet after, not in extra adjectives. Nietzsche again. Style is a sign of structure. We're building your style on steel beams, not neon signs. Now the field protocols, the places you'll spend your week. First, the team meeting. Enter on time. Open with the micro contract. Outcome, window, trade-offs, ownership. Run a quick round of crisp updates with a rule. 60 seconds per person. Conclusion first, blockers second, no history. Use a visible timer or call the minute marks. When discussions drift, reclaim with, "We're outside scope." Parking lot or drop, decide. End with decisions on a slide or a whiteboard and owners with dates. Snap a photo and send it after. Artifact equals memory. Second, the difficult one-on-one. Start with your intent. My aim is your long-term growth and our short-term performance. Today I'll be direct. Then move to data. 2 specific examples of behavior and impact. Ask a single open question. What do you see that I might be missing? Listen fully. Then set the edge. Expectations going forward. X, Y, Z. I'll support with A and B. We'll review in 2 weeks for 15 minutes. Keep the tone quiet. People accept hard truths when the voice is low and the path is visible. Whisper authority helps them save face and change fast. Third, the executive brief. You have 5 minutes. Lead with the decision, cost of delay, and recommended path. Decision needed. Continue beta or scale. Cost of delay. $80K per week in lost pipeline. I recommend scale with a 10% budget increase. Risks, reliability and compliance, mitigations attached. Then shut up. When questions come, answer in phrases, point to artifacts, and don't defend your ego. If they say no, thank them, clarify the reason, and ask what would change their mind. You leave as an adult, not a petitioner. Fourth, the remote all-hands question. You're about to ask leadership something many are afraid to. Use 3 parts. Empathy for the room, a precise question, and a constructive frame. Many of us are carrying both shipping pressure and ambiguity about prioritization. My question, will we publicly drop any initiatives this quarter to protect core delivery? If yes, which 2? If no, what's the plan to prevent burnout? You've given them a chance to lead while protecting your team. Expect a dozen DMs after thanking you for asking what they were thinking. Fifth, the negotiation. Decide in advance your walkaway and your giveaways. Bring 2 packages and a concession ladder. Start with the package that fits their stated priorities. When they ask for more, climb your ladder with cost. We can include expedited support if the contract extends to 18 months. Never give 2 concessions at once. Hold quiet. Let them sit in the price of their ask. Most people fear silence and buy their way out of it. You'll sit still and let value hold its shape. Mistakes to avoid. Confusing attention with status. Attention is volume. Status is gravity. You don't need everyone looking at you. You need key people listening when it matters. Overhumor. Humor is spice, not soup. Use it to defuse, not to distract. Apology reflex. Reserve sorry for mistakes you own, not for existing. Sorry quick thought trains the room to discount you. Excessive context. Lead with outcome. Put the novel in the appendix. Promise stacking. Don't buy respect by promising everything. Respect comes from delivering on fewer promises cleanly. Performative humility. I could be totally wrong, but drains your own battery. Try. I'm open to being wrong. Here's my current best view. That's humble without kneeling. Rituals to install this week that make all 5 signals automatic. The doorway ritual. Pause at the door, exhale long, count 3, choose your first sentence, and enter with your shoulders heavy. The agenda card. 1 index card per meeting with outcome, window, trade-offs, and owners written in black ink. The ledger log. A notes page where you record 2 status gifts you gave and 2 you received with dates. The pause bell. Every time someone bumps a table or there's a tech glitch, use it as a bell to reset silence and reclaim the frame. The 2-slot rule. Never reply to a scheduling question without offering 2 specific windows. The 2 beats before no. When asked for a favor, pause for 2 beats before declining or trading. Most of us rush into a yes out of anxiety. The artifact habit. Every decision gets an artifact, even if it's a 50-word email with the decision, the why, and the who. Let's run concrete scenarios. You're in a product review and a senior leader drops a drive-by. Why didn't you ship last week? Old you starts explaining. New you claims the frame, clock, and edges. 2 constraints created risk of breakage. We prioritized safety over schedule. Decision now. Ship today with a reduced slice, or hold for 3 more days to include the fix. I recommend ship today. Owners ready. Then you shut up. If they push, you reference your 1 page and the risk table. Your posture says, I am not here to defend my worth. I am here to make us win. Another. A peer tries to pull you into their fire. Can your team help us finish this report today? Old you says yes and dies at 10 p.m. New you uses edges with warmth. I want to help. To do that, we'd drop 2 commitments, the security patch and the exec brief. Which one do we move? If they say neither, you offer the conditional yes with conditions they can accept or not. You don't moralize, you surface prices. One more. A junior is talented but talks in loops. After the 3rd loop, you use clock control and whisper authority. I'm going to pause you so we use the time well. Give me your conclusion in 1 sentence. When they do, you praise the muscle. That's it. Now build your case from there. You're teaching architecture, not just content. Let's talk voice for a minute. Whisper authority isn't mumbling, it's density. Practice speaking as if your words are bricks, not confetti. Replace adverbs with silence. Instead of I'm really concerned that maybe we're sort of under-resourced, try we're under-resourced. Options: extend timeline or cut scope. The pause afterward is your underline. If your voice shakes, lower your volume and slow your rate by 10%. If your throat tightens, drop your shoulders and say the next sentence while exhaling. Physiology unlocks the door for psychology to walk through. Your identity will try to interfere. Who am I to claim the frame? That's your old pattern talking. The one that equates silence with safety and loudness with arrogance. You're not going loud, you're going deliberate. The person you're becoming is a builder. Builders decide. Builders say no with care. Builders give credit. Builders make it easy to agree with them because they bring artifacts, not drama. If you need a mantra, use I build clarity. That's your job in the economy of respect. Time for a brief surgical detour into philosophy you can use. The Stoic dichotomy of control becomes your filter for meetings. Claim what you can control, how you speak, how you pace, what artifacts you bring, and stop burning oxygen on what you can't. People's moods, legacy politics. Nietzsche's call to shape yourself into a style, not a slogan, becomes your daily practice. Write the sentence you'll open with. Craft the artifact. Move like someone who has a center. Jung's shadow becomes an assignment. List 3 things you say yes to out of fear and write 1 boundary for each. Practice saying them at low volume. Machiavelli's realism becomes your expectation. People are driven by interest and perception. Build the ledger. Don't rely on speeches. Bourdieu's capital becomes your quiet scorecard. Attend to the symbols, time, introductions, artifacts that accumulate into authority. Now let's lay out a 7-day micro-challenge to make this real. Day 1. Claim the frame in 1 meeting. Write your first sentence in advance and deliver it with a pause. Metric. Did you state the decision in the window? Did you pause for at least 2 seconds? Day 2. Clock control. In 1 conversation, speak in whiteboard phrases and hold 3 clean pauses. Offer 2 specific time windows in at least 1 scheduling exchange. Metric. Mean pause length and 2-slot usage. Day 3. Edges. Use the refusal ladder once. I want to help. To do that, here's what we drop. Or, I can if we move the deadline to Wednesday. Metric. Measure the recovery time. Did the relationship normalize within the same day? Day 4. Alliance ledger. Give 2 status gifts publicly. Introduce someone with precision and share error in a recap. Metric. Track replies. Watch for stronger engagement in your next meeting. Day 5. Whisper authority and artifacts. Build a 1-page for a decision and bring it. Deliver 3 compressed phrases at low volume with full stops. Metric. Interruption. Delta. Did interruptions drop? Day 6. Field scenario. Run the full protocol in a meeting. Outcome window trade-offs owners, plus time audit at minute 12 plus artifact capture at the end. Metric. Did the meeting end on time with decisions? Day 7. Reflection and next build. Review your ledger, your pause data, your edges, and pick 1 habit to double next week. In the comments, write frame/clock/edge and the habit you're doubling. Public commitment builds the dojo. A quick word about charisma myths that sabotage progress. Myth 1. You need to be extroverted. You need to be readable. Quiet people with clear frames and steady clocks are intoxicating in rooms that are tired of noise. Myth 2. Charisma is inborn. Charisma is a stack of behaviors, not a gene. You can practice behaviors. Myth 3. Charisma is manipulation. Manipulation is architecture in service of your ego. Charisma architecture is structure in service of the mission and the people. Your ledger and your artifacts keep you honest. Myth 4. If I'm competent, people will notice. People are busy. Competence without signals is like a lighthouse with the bulb turned off. Turn the bulb on. You might ask, what if my boss dominates and won't let me claim the frame? Don't fight their status head-on. Use side frames and artifacts. Before the meeting, send a one-page with the decision and options. In the meeting, when the boss pauses to breathe, jump into the opening with a compressed frame that references the pre-read. To land this, decision is A or B. Pre-read on the table. I recommend B for speed. You're not seizing power. You're making it easy for the boss to look effective. Leaders love people who reduce friction. What if I freeze? You won't if you script the first sentence. But if you do, use the reset line. I'm going to restart that cleanly. Then say the one sentence you prepared. People respect self-correction more than messy improvisation. What if someone challenges me aggressively? Lower your volume. Name the shared goal. We both want to ship without breaking trust. Here's the path I see. Then ask for data. What am I missing? Aggression is oxygen hungry. Don't feed it with your breath. Feed the mission with structure. Let's talk about nonverbal tells of someone who has built charisma architecture. They move like they're wearing a well-tailored coat. Weight down, movement economical, zero fidgeting with objects. They make eye contact for full sentences, not chipmunk glances. They don't touch their face or neck when challenged. They rest their hands on the table, palms down or steepled lightly, and let the challenge enter the room without flinching. When they laugh, it's low and short, not hyena bursts. When they're wrong, they say, "You're right. I missed that." Then pivot. No flurry, no defensive monologue. This is what whisper authority looks like in the wild. In your personal life, the same architecture applies. At a dinner table with friends debating travel plans, claim the frame gently. If the goal is rest, then a crowded itinerary kills it. Two options, a simple cabin weekend or a single city slow trip. I vote cabin. Then shut up. When your partner asks you to add an event to an already full weekend, edges with warmth. I want to go. To do that, I'd drop Sunday's commitment. If that's okay, I'm in. Alliance ledger at home looks like this. You keep small promises. You credit your partner's contributions in front of others. You bring artifacts like a short list for groceries instead of guessing. Charisma isn't a suit you wear at work. It's a way you carry responsibility. If you manage teams, make your culture do this by default. Teach conclusion-first updates. Celebrate clean no's. Reward those who bring artifacts. In stand-ups, train people to speak in outcomes. Shipped X, blocked on Y. Today doing Z, I need A. Ban history lectures. Create a doc for those who enjoy writing novels and read it after. Your meetings become densified, your decisions get faster, and people stop fearing them because they know how to win inside them. Your long game is to become the person who reduces the room's cognitive load. When you walk in, people feel relief because the meeting will have a spine. The time will be respected. The edges will be fair, the ledger will be tended, and the voice will be calm. That's the essence of charisma architecture, predictability in service of progress. The paradox is that the less you chase attention, the more attention attends to you. You're building gravity. Let's stitch a few more scripts you can slot in starting tomorrow. To open a brainstorming session, constraints first. Time, budget, tech. Within these, give me bad ideas fast. Quantity beats quality for 10 minutes. To close a complex meeting, I'm going to summarize, correct me if I miss anything. Decision A, owners B and C, risks D, next steps E by Friday. Anything else must wait for the next cycle. To de-escalate heat. I hear the emotion. Let's put it on the table but not on each other. What's the fear under this? To avoid scope creep via just one more thing. If it matters, it deserves its own decision. We'll schedule that. To handle a compliment with status. Thank you. The team carried the weight. I carried the frame. To correct a boss graciously. I might have a detail that changes the picture. May I add it? To ask for help without losing status. I'm stuck on X. I've tried A and B. Recommend C or D. The pattern is clarity, brevity, and respect. Because you're still here, I'll give you an advanced move. The 3, 2, 1 close. When a decision is floating, give 3 facts, propose 2 options, and make 1 recommendation. 3 facts. The customer churn doubled after the UI change. The rollback cost is 2 days, and support tickets are spiking. 2 options. Revert now and fix later, or patch forward with a hotfix. 1 recommendation. Revert now. Owners ready. You let everyone feel the fairness of the process while guiding them to the obvious path. For experts in the room, this feels like oxygen. Finally, someone who can move us without drama. Another advanced move. The pre-frame. Before a meeting that matters, align two key people privately. In the room, I'll propose B for these reasons. If you disagree, push me. But please do it after I lay the matrix so the group hears the structure. You're not rigging the vote. You're rigging the clarity. Those two allies become amplifiers. Your recommendation sounds less like my idea and more like our path. And one more, the future audit. When you're unsure, project forward. It's December. We're proud and tired. What decision today would we wish we had made? This moves the room out of politics into foresight. It reduces fear-based decisions because it connects to identity, who we want to be later, not just what we fear now. If this is landing, subscribe for weekly training. I treat this channel like a dojo for status without noise. Each week we'll sharpen one move, record one metric, and build one artifact. Share this video with one colleague who is smart but not yet heard. Secretly, you want them strong. Weak allies drain you. Strong ones give you optionality. Let's close with identity. You are not becoming a performer with tricks. You are becoming a builder with signals. Claim the frame, because decisions need a spine. Control the clock, because time is the only non-renewable in the room. Hold edges with cost, because kindness without boundaries is cruelty to the mission. Tend the alliance ledger, because strength compounds in networks. Speak with whisper authority and bring artifacts, because we trust what we can see and feel. If you practice these 5 signals, people will listen, not because you demanded it, but because you built an architecture that makes listening the rational choice. Your 7-day challenge starts now. Today, claim one frame. Tomorrow, run the clock. The next day, set one clean edge. Then give 2 status boosts. Then bring one artifact and speak in compressed lines. On day 6, run the full protocol in a meeting. On day 7, audit your metrics and pick the habit you'll double. Post your commitment in the comments with frame/clock/edge so we can hold you to it. When these moves live in your bones, you'll notice the rooms feel different. People breathe easier, projects move, and without needing to be the loudest, you become the person the room is waiting for. Before you go, drop a like if this blueprint helped, subscribe for more weekly drills, and share this with one person who needs their voice to carry. I'll read the comments. Tell me which signal you'll build first and what your silence ratio target is. I'll leave you with one last line to carry into your week. Attention begs, status decides, architecture delivers. Now go build.